Hello, Comic Geeks, and welcome back to the Script Heroes podcast, where every month we are breaking down every single book in the DC Absolute Universe line. We've got you covered with completely spoiler-filled reviews. You can keep up to date with every single title that's happening because maybe you're only reading one, and it looks by the look of things this month, it seems like maybe we've got some brewings of connectivity
Yeah, and I
between
think
them
this is
that are.
the last month before. I think next month is where the Superman book starts to connect with the Absolute Legion.
Mm-hmm.
I think the connective stuff is starting to happen.
It's all starting
Yeah,
to come together.
yeah,
And we're happy to give you a full recap on everything that happened so you know exactly where we are in the universe. That's
that's right.
6 books that we're going to go through, so we're going to jump right into it. And we're going to start with, I think, our personal darling, and
Yeah,
also the entire line's darling, with Absolute Batman.
yeah. Some people might push for the Absolute Martian Manhunter to be the line's darling at this
That's
point,
fair,
but
that's fair.
for us, I think it certainly has been Absolute Batman. And we're on
Yes.
to issue 9, and Nick Dragata is back
Thank
after
good. Like,
taking
the
off
other
the.
art was fine, but
Yeah, it was actually really, really good for the
yeah,
Mr. Freeze arc. I think it was called Sub-Zero? Something like that?
something
Absolute
like
Zero. It's
that.
called Absolute Zero because
Absolute
puns.
that's clever, Mr.
Right.
Snyder.
Um, and then he came already fucking derail. We've
Off
got
the rails.
Scott Snyder and Nick Dragata on, I was about to say episode 9, on issue 9 of Absolute Batman. And we start with the leaders of Kondak and Kurek meeting to negotiate peace when just an absolutely massive Bane arrives. He's a real big lad.
Like, people throw around the phrase absolute unit, but they don't understand. They have
It's in
not
the Absolute
seen
Universe.
Absolute
He
Bane.
must be an
This is
absolute
the
unit.
absolute unit.
The absolute unit. But in what I thought was a really, really great introductory moment for Bane, he just started talking about what he's gonna present happening, which is that one of these men killed the other one and that destroyed peace talks. And one of them immediately goes to be like, "We would never," and the other one, whose name is Omar. I don't think the other one was named. I know Omar was named, but I don't believe the other guy was named. Omar immediately just jumps on and he's like, "I'll do it." And so
Yeah.
Bane crushes the other man's head like a balloon in his hand. He popped and smushed it.
I'm
It was
sorry, real
great.
quick. How do you pop balloons?
I guess it's not like a balloon. I guess like a pool floaty more like. I was like it was like the inside broke and then the wrapper condensed,
Okay, sure. Okay. I
So balloon
anyway.
was maybe not the right word. I was thinking kind of like a pool floaty is kind
My
of what it
favorite
looked like
thing
to
is that
me.
we pre-write these.
Yeah.
So Jay showing off his writerly skills.
I actually didn't write that down. I just wrote.
Oh, that's
I
what
just
happens
wrote
when you
"crush
go
the
off
head." I
script,
decided
buddy
that in the
boy.
moment.
Like a fool. This is why he's a writer and not an improver.
Yeah, exactly. But we then Bane basically walks Omar through that he has to escalate it and that they're counting on him to be this to be a good leader to sell this to his people. It's very intense. Bane's a very intimidating lad.
Such a good introduction.
I
And I
love
feel like
that
the
scene.
thing
I
that
thought it
I
was really,
loved
really
the
good.
most about this introduction is I feel like there are some media that will often create a version of Bane that's just kind of big and physically threatening.
Talking about Batman and Robin, the movie.
Batman and Robin, and also with love because it's a very irreverent show, but the Harley Quinn show, I feel Bane's I don't know, criminal mastermind and genius level intellect is often neglected, and I don't
Yeah.
think he's he seems to be a crony of someone here.
Yeah.
But my God, I
I think
love.
we see he's working for Joker. I believe we saw Joker
Yeah.
sending Bane many issues ago because they were doing those
Oh, you're
Bane
so
things.
right.
Yeah.
But so even though he's not drug dealing mastermind, he is very much intelligent and
Yeah.
strategic, and his thing isn't
Absolutely.
being big and dumb, he's big and smart. And
Yeah.
in a book where you look at Absolute Batman, you're like, oh my God, how big are they gonna make Bane? I feel like
The
he
answer was
very
yes.
easily The answer was yes, and we'll get to that. Because on top of his just regular absolute unitness, my God, we'll get to it. But I was very worried that it was gonna be like, oh well, you know, once he's like the size of a fucking T-Rex, he's not gonna be able to be like kind of smart and savvy Bane anymore. But I was really pleased with this opening because I'm like, oh no, he's like intimidating, yes, because of his size, but more so in like how intimidating he is, like with his words.
Yeah.
So I was
He's got a great presence. But yeah, I
Yeah.
love that opening scene. But then we jump over to Batman, and we see that he's been on just an absolute rampage.
My boy,
That
did you miss it? Shay,
I genuinely have no idea what you're talking about.
Shay, the EMT on the rickshaw.
We're not there yet, firstly, but
It's on that sequence. I was
I didn't realize-
quietly and excitedly put.
Oh my God, you're right. There's a close up on the badge. I didn't.
I was just excitedly
This is
and
what happens
quietly
when Nick
pointing.
Dragata puts 50 panels on a page.
I
and
love
like
it.
the-
I love the 50 panel page. This is my favorite page in the whole book, and not just because my boy.
It's a good page, but we see the Batman's been on this utter rampage, running through basically just all of the organized crime members in Gotham, to the point that to lead up to what Katie's very excited about there. They're out of ambulances, so then they start doing ride shares, and then they're out of ride shares, so one EMT takes a rickshaw, and you see a close up on the badge that says Grayson D. Which importantly, that is a D, right? Yeah, that really shouldn't be a D.
It should be R, but you know,
It should be an
preferred
R.
name. Maybe it's really just an Easter egg for everyone's favorite Nightwing author, Devin Grayson.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
That's
right
what it
there.
is.
We're so derailed already. But there we go. So we've got the little.
We've got my boy! And the answer
Grayson
to
Easter
a
egg.
question
Which is
that we
interesting.
had at the very beginning, because there's no way that I'm just glossing over this, because we were talking about, you know, what an absolute universe is going to do with the copious amounts of Robins. It's like there's a non-zero chance that Dick is like even younger, like a young boy. But no, we see that he is old enough to have become an EMT.
I was banking on so I'll take the loss here. I was banking on the fact that he was going to be a part of Alfred's organization, and they were going to go like Agent Grayson for the start.
Well,
that
Agent
was really
37 inspired action.
Yeah, that's what I thought was going to be happening. So slight loss there for me.
Which
but anyway.
I think that my because we had talked about this before, I thought he was going to be like buddies with Bruce, and then it was clear that he wasn't part of the Crime Alley gang. So I was like, oh, I've given up hope.
I had this like great hope that him and Jason would both be like agents, and then they would just be like different.
That'd be so fun. That would be super fun.
You know, like Red Hood would kind of like stay as like Alfred and Dick left, and he'd be like, "No, you got organization." And I thought it'd be fun.
I think that would be pretty neat. Hey, Scott Snyder, Jay has an idea about Absolute Red Hood.
I tweeted out that I had an Absolute Red Hood idea at one point. I was like, I need to just like type this out.
But anyway.
Yeah. So derailed. We're
then literally like 4 pages into the issue.
Yeah. Luckily, I think a lot of the back half of this issue is pretty quick explained. We see that Batman has reached out to cop Barbara Gordon for help, and she ends up delivering him a packet of information on I think because we got derailed there. The reason Batman's on this rampage is because Waylon is missing, and he's trying to find his friend. I think that got lost.
We saw that at the end of last issue.
Yeah. So Babs delivers him this file on Waylon, and Bruce goes to all of his friends and Alfred as we kind of see them meeting up as a team for the first time, and they're going over this information. We see that he's actually been taken legally is a strong word. They're pretending he was taken legally for breaking the city lockdown, and his property has already been claimed, which is indicating
very
to
funky.
them that he's probably not going to be coming back at any point. So they come up with this plan that they'll break him out themselves and then get him into witness protection in Metropolis. So, wait, I need to quickly. We do then jump to a one-page scene with Gordon and Martha Wayne, where we do officially confirm that Gordon has lost the race. Many
Yep.
many issues after the I think the setup for that was like
Yeah, yeah.
3 issues ago or something like that. But we do get that confirmation, and he actually says that he's gonna support Martha in whatever she wants to do next because she was supporting him. So that's kind of an interesting little setup there to see what.
I'm a big fan of it. I think that it's setting Martha up to do exciting things, which is great because I feel like she's been kind of a star in all the issues she's been in.
Yeah.
Uh
I'm just interested. Like
so
I was
I'm
trying to think of what that was because they very quickly shut down the idea of her running for mayor after. So
yeah, she's like, I'm not gonna run for mayor, and he's like,
yeah,
whatever it is that you
and it
do.
felt very like immediate because probably the way the scene would read without that would be like, oh, she's just gonna
Yeah.
run. So they shut that down. So I'm very interested. Like, what is the path
My
then for
bid
Martha
is for like just going right to police commissioner. Not even a cop first.
I don't think that's a thing, but there we go.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
We then get what I thought was actually kind of a weird scene in the issue because it didn't really connect to anything. Where we see a younger Selena and Bruce having sex on a pile of money.
Yeah.
Likely, it's very quickly hinted that it's stolen because they hear a knock and get kind of concerned.
And also because
and then Waylon arrives.
Kids from
let me finish. It's a quick scene.
Yeah.
Waylon arrives and he asks Bruce for help training him for a title fight. So it seems like it was meant to be like just like a this is why he cares about Waylon thing, but it felt very weird in the issue to me. I don't know.
Agreed, especially because like they did such a good job early on with the Crime Alley kids that I'm like, oh, as soon as you're like Waylon's been kidnapped, I'm already on board. I already understand that there's such a beautiful, strong bond between these kids that I'm like, oh, I understand why all of them are willing to like risk everything to go save him. Yeah, it was a little odd. I thought for sure it was going to be because Selena was going to show up later in the issue, and she did not.
No, it was.
So we'll see what becomes of that. I guess
a little odd. Maybe it's a setup for next issue. Maybe but it was
a little weird to put it in the middle of this issue.
Yeah, it felt like it was just a little off. But anyway, we then see Batman going through the underground waterways to infiltrate Arkham. But as he kind of climbs up, they find that he gets into Arkham much before he's actually supposed to. So they've got the secret underground, I guess, facility operating in Arkham. We get this splash page showing the just ginormous scale of it. And then, once inside, he is confronted by Bane, who is shown to be, I think, so clearly above Bat. Like, he has very little difficulty as he, like, pressure point takes out Batman's ability to use his limbs. Batman stands no chance before Venom just kind of to, like, show off because Batman claimed he was juicing. He was like, oh, I wasn't juicing. And he activates his Venom, and he becomes literally the size of a building.
Yeah. Like, y'all picture absolute Batman.
Giant fist. He grabs up Batman with, like, this giant fist, and he looks like an action figure, basically, in his hand. And he then gives us our big cliffhanger, which he says that he's going to get Batman prepped for surgery.
Yeah. Which is wild. Like, Bane is... I love Bane. I love Bane dearly. I love this Bane. I think that him being juiced to the point of truly being the size of a building. Like,
legitimately, not exaggerated. He is the size of a building.
Yeah. It is wild. Like, he has to be at least, like, 15 feet tall.
Yeah. Batman looks to be, like, a third of him, and this is, like, a very large Batman.
Yeah. It's insane. I do think it's perhaps a little much.
Absolutely.
It is. And, like, this is him in true absolute unit form. Yeah. It's just a little limiting, I think. And, like, maybe, the amount of Venom he uses will change his size. Yeah. And he, like, went full juice. But I'm a little worried because I'm like, oh no, that feels like we're gonna have such, like, situational uses of Bane. But like you said, he did take Batman down without the Venom before.
Yeah. That's my question. Like, I just don't know how we're getting a Batman who can defeat this Bane anytime soon. Because he's shown to, like, be so outmatched before Bane uses the Venom. And then Bane uses the venom and it's the size of a building. Like, how is this Batman within months gonna learn to beat this Bane?
My theory is that it's gonna be Croc. Like, I think that they're going to have already gotten to Croc and done whatever, surgery is, whatever, like, Project Snowflake, or what the thing Freeze was doing, whatever that was like testing people's biology. I think that that's going to have already happened to Croc. And my theory is that Batman is going to have to, like, break through to him with the power of friendship. And then Croc and Bane can
there you go.
Go mano a mano.
I'm hoping they go like the opposite way. Instead of Batman like breaking the Venom connections to like make him small, he like somehow makes Bane overjuice and Bane just explodes.
Jay just loves the balloons.
I love the balloon.
That is where
that's a balloon.
Like a balloon. That's a balloon right there. But yeah, I really enjoyed this issue. I think that I got really hype about stuff at the beginning and stuff at the end. The middle was a little. That's all right. It was
I agree with you. I thought particularly the flashback scene was weird. For whatever reason, all the Absolute books love jumping around. Like it's like the one
they really do
shared thing in the Absolute universe is that none of them like to just like linearly tell you an issue. Like we gotta have a flashback or
we gotta have something a little funky in here.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought this was a very good video. I quite enjoyed this, and it's a great clip.
I enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, but Katie, you're gonna take us to the next book, right?
Yes, time to talk about Absolute Wonder Woman #9. This is writer Kelly Thompson and artist Hayden Sherman. And we pick back up with Diana in her encounter with Dr. Poison, who has revealed that she knows of an Amazon in Area 41, which also gets a call out in Absolute Superman, I believe, Area 41.
Yes,
Diana trades the Doctor's freedom for this information, along with her promise not to harm citizens and the destruction of the Tetra Spiders. So Diana kind of like,
candidly, she spiders.
She eats them spiders. Which I think immediately is like, oh right, yes, this is the Wonder Woman that we're dealing with, where no problem is a problem.
Yeah, apparently she just like opens portals beneath them to hell, I believe is what she says, and then just like, come on, bye.
And even more so than that, I was so bamboozled, because she's dangling Dr. Poison over the edge of a building. And we know that Dr. Poison is made of gas. Like, she's a poison ghost. Yeah. But she's, like, very afraid for being dropped. Because she mentions that if Diana drops her, like, a bunch of people will get poisoned. And I'm like, I don't know that... You were literally just unleashing Tetra Spiders to kill a bunch of people. But...
Yeah, I don't know.
Heart?
I also just felt like the opening of this book did not feel like a smooth pickup from where we were at the end of the last issue. I was like sitting there, I feel like I missed something, but it doesn't exist because I'm looking at the end of the last issue and I'm looking at the start of this issue, but I feel like I missed something. Yeah,
which I'd love to touch on again later with this book.
Yeah. Why don't you keep going?
She bargains. She makes this bargain so she can get the coordinates to a maze deep within the secret Area 41, and she sets off on a quest to free her captured sister. We are treated to a return to the underworld in a flashback because none of these books are linear, but we love the flashbacks in Wonder Woman, so that's fine.
Yeah, they're very good.
Where we learned that at a young age, Artemis showed herself to Diana, much to Cersei's displeasure. So there's something going on there. We don't know what Artemis like brought Diana forth to do or anything.
But Cersei was very concerned, which I feel like is an important thing to know because it doesn't feel like a like good old fun visit, you know?
No. I absolutely loved when Diana walked up to Cersei sleeping and she's like, Mom, I had a dream. And Cersei's like, what the fuck? I don't care. With like schnoozing. And then Diana goes, it's like a lady with a beautiful face spoke to me in the dream, and you just see in that same position Cersei's eyes go wide open. And I'm like, that was like beautiful mom vibes, I feel.
Yeah.
Absolutely adored. But unfortunately, we don't spend much time in the underworld in this issue. And we quickly return to the current timeline, where Diana has gone back to her the kind of base of ops, where she's going to create a door into the maze. Steve warns her that the maze is actually a prison, so there will be no easy way out. But Diana is undeterred. Probably partially because she had no problem just creating a door to get in. She makes a little line about how she creates doors. Upon entry, she comes across a minotaur wildly named Ferdinand, like after the children's book Bull. And I literally looked it up because I was like, what's the original minotaur named Ferdinand or something? It's like, no, this man is just named after a child's book character. That's fine. And the siren that Ferdinand is protecting, and she helps defend them from a bunch of fishmen. This kindness is returned in the form of companionship and information, as Ferdinand reveals that he may know of an Amazon in the maze named Clea. This Amazon wastes no time in revealing herself to Diana, though, who immediately determines that is no Amazon.
Yeah. Importantly, also immediately threatens Ferdinand on arrival.
She immediately gives villain vibes.
Clea is not a friendly figure.
No.
So that'll be fun.
That'll be fun. We love some good.
Maybe Wonder Woman will finally struggle with an encounter. We'll see.
Maybe. Yeah, Absolute Wonder Woman, I feel, you mentioned with the start of the issue that it felt like you were missing something. Yeah. I feel like that's been kind of a recurring theme with Absolute Wonder Woman, where I'm like, I know that there's literally no way that I could have more information. Like, we are reading every single issue, we are reading every single issue in the Absolute Universe, so even if there were hints about stuff in other issues, there's no way that we could have more information comics-wise than what we have. And I keep feeling like I'm a little lost. I feel like a lot of stuff just isn't getting fleshed out in Absolute Wonder Woman.
It's because I feel like we keep talking about the flashback stuff is done so well, which like should be the world building stuff, but then there's like a lot of stuff in the present that doesn't feel.
I feel like I know so much about Cersei and Diana's relationship, and I love it because when it's fleshed out, it's amazing. But then most of the book is dealing with stuff that's happening elsewhere.
Yeah, we like that little villain arc so much because that actually let like Cersei be a character, and it's like this makes the book much better when like a supporting character is actually fleshed out, because I feel like none of her supporting cast is fleshed out. Steve, Barbara, all of them, they're just kind of there. I don't even remember the name of the like witchcraft store of people. Yeah. I don't remember their name. Like, so it's just a lot of like, I don't know. They don't even like do separate things. They're kind of just like, it's like a cheering section for Wonder Woman.
It really is
a weird use of a supporting cast.
Because they don't feel very supportive.
A lot, especially art-wise, really, really great in this issue. Like,
I mean, Hayden Sherman's back. We all know that I'm a Hayden Sherman
There was just some great, like, everything in the maze, like, was visually stunning. I really like the Dr. Poison design, and, like, despite feeling like I was missing something, I quite liked a lot of that encounter. I thought it was well done. It was good to stay busy. You're like, oh no, Diana, what are you doing? And like holding Poison Man above the city. Like, that feels very bad.
It feels very reckless, my dear.
Don't do that. So I did I felt like this was I feel like if this wasn't an issue 9, I would have really, really liked this issue.
That's so fair.
Where it is, where I'm like, I still don't know what we're doing. Like, I feel like we're at the point now, especially because one of the books where I felt like I wasn't there kind of got there this month. Like, I feel like I know where all the books are kind of going, or like what their overarching thing is. I don't think I do with Wonder Woman, which is a bit weird.
A bit weird. Because like we kind of resolved because there was the immediate threat of Hades, and again we liked that little fill-in arc so much.
It was really good. It was a really great 2-issue arc. Yeah.
But we don't know what the Tetracide was harbinging.
Yeah.
Like, it's supposed to be a harbinger, but we don't know what it was harbinging. And there doesn't seem to be much interest in keeping breadcrumbs for that sprinkling, So it's tough to nail down what, like, the plot of Absolute Wonder Woman is. in a way
Yeah.
that I think is a lot more apparent in the other books. And I
Yeah.
think a big part of that is because the other books have a more kind of cohesive villain
Yeah.
section. Like we get that there's something going on in Area 41, uh, but that doesn't feel Wonder Woman exclusive or
No, that's
like
like a part of
yeah,
the
it's a part of the
greater.
world. Yeah,
Yeah. Um.
yeah. So a little rough, but
Yeah.
it's been a little rough, and
Yeah.
that's okay. We're gonna keep going.
We're gonna keep rolling. We're gonna roll right into Absolute Superman here, where
Yes.
we have Jason Aaron as the writer, Rafa Sandoval as the artist, but we also have Fico Osio doing just a few pages here and there within the issue. I'm
Trying to think
guessing
of what.
Rafa Sandoval. It's the first Lois sequence in the prison.
Okay.
The other ones I couldn't really pick out, because they're just pages, and I couldn't like that one was an easy one to pick out, where it's like, oh, it's a
Okay.
different sequence at the beginning, and it fits the page number. The others I didn't like specifically look at, and I couldn't really pick them out immediately. So
Fair
I
enough.
think it might just be all of the Lois stuff, because I think if page 22 is the last one, I think it's that last splash too.
Maybe
is
so.
one.
Yeah.
So I think it might just be all of the Lois scenes in the issue.
Maybe they were kind of added later.
Yeah, it could also just be that if Rafa was behind, they were like, "Oh, let's at least give the artist like one thing that's kind of
cohesive thing to do." Yeah.
So, any case, let's talk about this issue. The book opens, if you remember, in the last issue, Superman was shot with some kryptonite bullets. The book opens with the Omega Men trying to remove. Specifically, we learn here that it's 3 bullets from Superman. They are able to remove the first one, but Superman screams and destroys just all of their equipment. So now they're useless. So Superman has to remove the second one himself in what I thought was really
because their rib spreaders physically can't spread Superman's ribs.
But anyway, he after that he's too weak to remove the third, and this leads to Primus telling Primus, the head woman, Omega Man person. If you don't, I don't remember talking specifically about Primus before, so I'll throw that out there. Tells the Omega Men to bring the box. We will later. I'm going to put this up here just because it's easier here. We learn later that this is a father box. It was very obviously either a mother box or a father box.
Right, yeah.
So it's just which of the two.
Especially since the Omega Men have been boom tubied around.
Yeah. But we learned here that it's we learn later that it's a father box. But this box connects with Superman, and we don't actually see it fully saving Superman here, but that's kind of the gist before we jump away, and we jump to Lois sequence. This is where we get our other artist, and we see Lois in a cell where she's confronted by Ra's. This is Raz's first confrontation with an actual character, and I really like it. Lois jumps in and is just immediately getting out ahead of it. She's like, I know why you're here. I know that you want me to keep working for you because otherwise I'd already be dead. I know that you're going to threaten my father's prosthetics that you run. But she's like, things are different because I've seen Superman and you haven't seen Superman, so you don't know that things are different. But then Roz says, I'm not threatening his prosthetics. I'm just going to murder your father if you don't do what I want to do. She then attacks him with a knife because this greatly provokes him, and he just quickly, and very casually tells her that he will just rise again tomorrow if she kills him. And Lois kind of immediately backs down as he then leaves her with the ominous message that her father's life is in her hands. And then, interestingly, he asks her to bring him his son.
Which was crazy. Because we know that Raish he was doing something weird with because he threw that baby off the roof last issue, which was just someone who had attacked him. But he had talked about something with an heir last issue, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so. He was talking about becoming from the. He didn't want to be the demon's head anymore. He wanted to be I can't remember what he called it. Was it God's
he didn't want to. Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
So yeah, very funky. I loved this scene because I think that the premise of Lois being kind of a smartass was set up so well because Raish's first question when he came in was I won't kill you if you answer my next question correctly. Why am I here? And so she launches into this kind of I don't know, not really sassy, but kind of like smart-assy answer to that that's like correct and gets to show off like how smart Lois is, which I love because I feel like he gave such a good sense of like I don't know confrontation in here. Like it felt
Yeah.
like it really kind of evened the narrative field for them because it
Yeah.
wasn't just him coming in and threatening her. She got to kind of show off a little bit. And then, oh my god, we've talked about Jason Aaron's writing before in that like it is both a blessing and a curse that sometimes he slips real hard into like that kind of Thor writing style of like very grandiose
Yeah.
stuff. The way that he wrote Ra's here was so
His
great.
race is somebody who's like Thor, where like that like
Oh yeah,
old timey mythological talk is just right. So
it
it's like
was so good.
this is perfect. Like this
It was so
great.
good.
Yeah. My one slight is like we get the like big lows like doesn't matter what you threaten because Superman is you know changed everything, and it's just a very quick turn to like threatening her father. I'm like, did you not like see that come? Like you even mentioned the legs. Like you thought that was it. They were just gonna like turn off his legs. Like you thought that was as far as the threats were gonna go. Like it's news to you that they might kill him instead, and that's like enough to get you.
Yeah.
So that was like my thing where I thought that was a little bit of a quick and weird turn. That made Lois look a little bit, you know, I don't know,
a little
dumb.
Naive.
Yeah. So, but small note in what was otherwise a very good scene. But anyway, let's jump forward here. And then we get a jump. There's a really weird time thing for the rest of this issue. For whatever reason, we jump forward here just to then like jump back quickly to then go.
Yeah.
Don't love that, but we're gonna
and
go
not
in
a way that like hides and then reveals information,
No,
just in a way that like
there was like nothing. I felt like there was nothing gained by telling it in this non-linear way.
Yeah.
But in any case, we jump weeks later. We see the Omega Men and Superman attacking a Lazarus peacemaking embassy in Pakistan. Superman is like blitzing through, taking out a bunch of peacemakers before he's grabbed by two peace mechs, which are a thing. And they're like trying to tear him apart. I quite like that visual. I thought it was funny.
I liked it too.
They're like trying to like old school torture stretch this man. And as he's doing this, Soul warns Superman to not let his wounds reopen because Soul is telling him you cannot use the father box again, and he's like very on that. He's like, that's bad. Don't do that. This is where we do the flashback. Don't really know why. And we go back to the Omega Men base, which is we learn here it was an old Lazarus drilling platform. And Superman talks with Jimmy Olsen here, and this is where we get the father box reveal because he tells him that the box actually told him its name while it was, working on him, and then it was called the father box, and it showed him what is coming: a world erupted in flames. Jimmy then kind of talks a little bit about why he got into, being an Omega Man. He's like, I want to tell my kids that I did something. It's a little, I don't know. A little weak explanation.
A little bit of a weak, yeah. I get where he's coming from. The way he communicates it is just a little bit odd.
Yeah, exactly. We then get kind of an important thing where Jimmy tells, in reference to Primus, Jimmy tells Superman that he shouldn't trust anyone on the planet, which is a interesting little line there. As Primus kind of comes over just as he's saying it, and like a nice little that's a little sus.
Ominous.
Primus tells the pair that there's this protest against Christopher Smith, who's like the peacemaker. He's the one who killed a bunch of people, and it's been labeled as a terrorist threat by Lazarus. So they're gonna go and they're gonna try to help out the protesters,
which is the sequence we saw at the peacemaking embassy.
That was like the setup of like this is why they were there, and it was like I don't know that was worth burying. I don't know.
Yeah.
What that they also like the delay of the father box name didn't feel like it did anything,
especially because like we knew it, like you said, we knew it was gonna be one or the other.
Like they referred to it as they were like, like if it's mother box then it's not Sinister, and if it's father box it is Sinister. So like that's the slight delay, but like it wasn't delayed enough to where like, especially because Soul was warning about it like in the scene that we essentially just flipped with. So I didn't
a little odd.
But anyway, we jump back to the present, and Superman uses a solar flare, so we see that Superman has that, that newer Superman power in this universe as well. He takes out a bunch of the peacemakers, and him and the Omega Men come upon a bunch of hanging civilians. It's a very sad visual. Poor
Very sad.
Poor hung people.
Who could have
Uh,
seen this coming from Lazarus?
yeah, who could have saw it coming? But then more peacemakers arrive, and Superman weirdly asks for a boom tube, saying that they're surrounded, despite the fact that he like just took out a fuck ton of peacemakers. But you know, I guess they don't have much left to fight for, so they might as well go.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that he says that they're surrounded instead of like we might as well just go. And I'm like,
Right? And also, Superman, you're not surrounded, go up.
but anyway, Primus then kind of lashes out and tries to shoot a peacemaker. But we see as the boom tube opens, they go to the other side. Superman caught the bullet and he stopped, Primus from murdering one of them.
Which is a little wild. Like, I feel
honestly, this is a universe where Batman and Superman have fully flipped. Like this is a Batman level of no kill rule. Superman here.
Yeah, because like I feel like it's always a little wild when a character is like so hell-bent on the no-kill rule that they're like, oh, and you can't kill people either.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay. Also, what is super? Because like with Batman, I feel like the main justification you get is like, the two ones are like, oh, I can't kill anyone because I won't be able to come back over that line.
Yeah.
And then the other one is like, oh, everyone can be rehabilitated or whatever.
It's just like, they can't. You have first-hand evidence that they can't, Batman.
Which is neither here nor there. And most importantly, not here, because it's like I don't understand what Superman's deal is with this.
Yeah, it's one of those things, and I've said about certain versions of Batman, and it happens with Batman because of how well established his no-kill rule is.
Yeah.
Where like a new version of Batman will come up, and that version won't be given any justification for the no-kill rule other than like, it's Batman. He doesn't kill. Like this is the character where I'm like, I don't understand why this Superman wouldn't kill. Like, there's no reason for him to believe this, like this strong, given to us. But anyway, Primus then tries to talk Superman. I will say the one thing that I think they kind of give here, but they don't fully lean into it, is the fact that I just don't think Superman fully trusts the Omega Men either. Like, because they are also like very much this like very terrorist-y organization.
I mean, yeah, but she was pointing her gun at a peacemaker.
Yeah, like that's fair, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't work perfectly, but I do think there's like a level of like there's also just the fact that he thinks both of these like extreme people are like he's like I don't want to really associate with you.
Yeah.
But anyway, Primus is then kind of like talking out Superman like, no, you got to go and kill every single peacemaker and then go kill Ra's and you'll do it. But as this is all happening, Primus is informed by one of the other agents that they left Olsen behind, and we then get this final splash of Olsen being interrogated by Lois Lane.
I am so confused about the "we left Olsen behind" bit because
importantly he was right like
there.
Yeah, it was Superman in the middle, Primus on one side, and Jimmy Olsen or Agent Alpha, whatever you want to call him, on the other side, right as this boom tube opened. Like, they were right next to each other.
Like, how... I also love the, like, we left Olsen behind as if Jimmy had no agency.
It's like somehow boom tube opened next to him and Jimmy's like, I can't walk in unless they, like, ask me to. They're leaving me behind. What the hell?
Oh, this is setting up a nice reveal that Jimmy is actually a vampire. He must be invited in. And it's like, oh shoot, we forgot to invite him in.
Where as soon as they got to the other side, Primus starts yelling about how their base isn't safe anymore and how they have to abandon it, and then firstly showing you that Primus is just like way too far, being like, leave the sick behind, like they can die, they'll meet God. I was like, holy shit!
Because there was also another weird thing where Jimmy was really skeptical because she referred to the father box as a god box. And said that it was like given by the gods, given by God.
The thing that was weird here is like I don't understand why Primus said their base was like they've been boom tubing to and from it constantly in fights. Like why? I thought that we were about to see like some of the peacemakers like came through with them, but that didn't happen. So I was like, what do you mean your base is not safe anymore?
Yeah,
there's no justification to that.
It was a little weird in an issue that I think in general was a little weird.
Yeah.
Like, I think there are a lot of moving pieces on Superman that I've been waiting for them to come together. And now that they're coming together, I feel like they're not coming together perfectly. which
Roz
is
so good,
fine. Roz is just
like
so
I feel like
good.
that's the big thing that this book has gotten, and even Brainiac.
Yeah.
Like in watch it, like the villains have been done so well that it's like,
Oh yeah.
oh, I'm excited for them as like looming. That's
Mhm.
like, I don't know what you're doing with Superman. I'm a little.
Yeah, I also this is a little silly, but I feel like it's a little too late to do internal captions for Superman. Like,
He does have a lot of them in this issue.
because like the previous, and I could be wrong, maybe there have been captions before, but I feel like the main vehicle into his mind has been him talking with Soul.
Yeah, I think we had some internal captions from him. The issue after the Krypton issue.
Okay. But like I feel like it feels weird to be this close to this Superman when we've been kind of kept at a distance from him. Like
Yeah.
I it feels wrong
No,
to be so
I see that
close
for
to
sure.
it.
It's like a weird because there was like, no, I guess now we've gotten like, but that happened a while. Like we've gotten most of his like history now, both on like
Mhm.
the Krypton and the Earth side. So maybe at this point, Jason Aaron's like, I'm done hiding things. And it does feel like Jason Aaron's kind of that. It does feel like that's where Jason Aaron is at this point. It's like, I'm done hiding things. Roz
Yeah.
is the villain. You get to see him now. You learned Brainiac's whole deal. Like you now know what's going on with Jimmy completely. You get to see everything going on with Lois completely. I'm even going to shed more light on the Omega Men and like where they're
Yeah.
doing things. Like it felt like this issue in particular felt like one, and it's been somewhat the last few years where Jason Aaron's like, I'm done hiding things, which
Yeah,
is a
like
bit of a
we've done
nice,
our build up. It's
nice,
time for reveal after reveal.
yeah, which is a little nice. I was a little bit fed up of like feeling like I knew nothing in Superman.
Yeah.
I'm happy that now I kind of know all the pieces, even if
Yeah.
they're
My
not
problem is
fitting.
that I still don't feel like I know Superman super well.
Yeah, I don't know what his character is. Like we talked about, he has the Stark
Yeah.
move, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. But we don't get much like motivation for him doing anything.
Yeah.
You know, if that makes sense. Like I don't really know why he's doing kind of anything.
Like we know that he is like out supporting the oppressed or the underdogs or however he
yes,
phrases
but
it.
like I don't know why, because he also makes it very clear that he like doesn't trust humans. So I'm also like, I don't know why you're so like into protecting humans when you like also don't seem to like humans. You know, like I don't
Yeah, like I feel
fully
like he
understand what
doesn't
his
have
take on humanity is. Like he's not
Yeah.
the classic Superman. Like I believe in the good in everyone, and even if there's evil people, like I really like humanity, and I'm going to protect humanity, because he clearly doesn't. Like he doesn't trust anyone. So
Yeah.
why are you like so into humanity? In
Yeah.
this grand sense, it's a little.
And like I think that that's a big reason, like we're missing the Clark side of things, right? Like we don't get to see
There
him
is no Clark. You know,
exactly.
like
Yeah,
that's just, like there is no Clark in this universe. Like there might be one day, but there is no alter ego in this universe. It's just
yeah.
something.
Because like the thing is, it doesn't. It's not even Superman and Kal-El. It's just him.
Yeah.
It's just Cal. But I feel like we don't get a lot of personality on Cal. Like we got good foundation for his personality on Krypton, but then I feel like the way that he interacts with people doesn't tell me a lot about who he is now, and that's what I think I'm now really missing from the Superman book.
I agree, but let's go, because we're
Yes.
kind of, you know, we're definitely
Yes.
running along. So
Is that right? I feel like those first three they're such deeper, and we have so much history to go through.
Yeah,
with
they're
them.
much denser for sure. Too.
We're
I can go to the least dense book
down
now.
to our issue 4s here, and we're starting it off with Absolute Flash from writer Jeff Lemire and a new artist in A.L. Kaplan. So Wally has escaped the rogues, his father, and the other powers that be from Fort Fox, alongside Gorilla Grodd. If you remember, Gorilla Grodd is a little tiny monkey.
He's a little monkey.
He's so cute. I want to die every time he's on the page. But Iron Heights isn't a nice place for a teen runaway and his pet genetically modified monkey. The pair end up at a teen shelter, vouched for by one Linda. We get a little Linda action.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
He's starting to get a supporting cast. There we go.
Yeah. Supporting cast. Linda at the teen shelter and Gorilla Grodd.
There we go, baby.
Hell yeah. But Wally can't seem to stay out of trouble as Grodd escapes and leads him directly to Heatwave. It's very exciting. We get a we go back over to Fort Fox and we see that a bunch of these like experimentation tubes have been busted open during the accident that
Project
killed Barry.
Heatwave, Project Wizard, which we can
Mhm.
assume is Weather Wizard,
Yeah.
most likely, and
then
then one that's kind of
Project
blacked out.
XXXXXX.
Yeah. There's also one on the ground, but I don't know if
Yes.
anybody was able to read that. I was not able to read that.
No, I don't think so. So it looks like there's gonna be I don't know, some good old superhero-ing in Flash, where it's like, oh, a bunch of these villains have broken out.
I'm talking about even with all issues of Flash. Like Flash is my favorite in terms of like still being a Flash book.
Yeah.
Like it just feels like it is sitting here like, no, we're still gonna have rogues. We're still gonna have like all these Flash characters. Now it's like Linda. Like there's no level of I want to do something so different. It's like I want to do a spin. I want to change that, but I very much still want this to be like Flash filled with Flash characters.
Yeah.
Doing Flash things. It's like that's nice. That's a nice thing in the Absolute Universe.
Yeah. It's also definitely the quickest book, like ironically, I guess. So like it's a book that you get through really fast because not a ton of stuff is happening. Which is
I was gonna say, like, it depends on what you mean by quick. Especially the first. I think a lot more happened in this issue in terms of moving plot. The first 3 issues
for sure, yeah,
could be seen as, despite fast reads, very slow plot movement.
Yeah.
Because they're such fast reads, like they don't do a ton. It's like, oh, we talked about in last month, like the first 3 issues felt like an issue. This actually felt like an issue to me. Like we got set up, we got Linda involved, we got like the youth shelter built up, we got stuff with Grodd and kind of a little bit more, and then we build into the heat wave and kind of like that felt like an issue. That was great. I like that.
Yeah. I feel like this does feel like the start. Like we talked about how at the end of the first 3 issues, it felt like they all should have been just one oversized first issue. And it's like, okay, now we're getting like our setting in Iron Heights.
Fully agree. And I really liked the setting. I thought it was it's an interesting setup.
And we get the like tension at Fort Fox with Wally's dad and whoever this like mysterious director woman is. Who seems to be in charge over there. Is she the same director woman? Could you tell from last month's Wonder Woman? I just had this thought.
That's something I would have had to check. I'm not.
That's
gonna,
so fair.
Remember
that's so valid. Yeah.
Like, is this
super fair?
Last month's? No, I don't know.
Because I don't think we get an arrow pointed to this as an Area 41 thing.
No.
But we don't not get this pointed to as an Area 41 thing. So who knows? But I do think we get a Lazarus name drop in this issue. Or is that in...
No, there's a Lazarus name drop in another issue.
Okay, maybe it's in the other issue that I'm thinking of.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like this was just like quick and fun, and it feels like such... When all of the other Absolute books are like so edgy, it's just like, oh, and Flash is just here. Like, he's being like a little depressed, like in a teenager way. And Barry's dead, which is sad. But otherwise...
But maybe not. But Barry's still kind of being involved, so, maybe the...
Yeah, he's a skeleton, though.
Yeah, but it feels like, I don't know.
There have been skeletons of speedsters before, certainly.
Yeah, it feels like he's gonna be... It feels like he's not gone, It feels like there's something there. But,
gone, but
I
not
quite
forgotten.
like this issue.
And maybe not even gone.
I thought it was... Grodd is so much fun, and I feel like it gives a lot to Wally, because instead we finally have stopped with, like, the just constant Wally captions everywhere saying the same things.
Yeah.
Because now he actually has, like, Grodd to kind of bounce off of a little bit.
And it's super cute. They have, like, their little telepathic conversations, which is very sweet.
And Linda's kind of gave him somebody to also talk to there, and I'm excited to see what happens with Linda. I really tend to enjoy, like, teenage romances more in comic books than adult romances. I feel like because I give them more, like, it bothers me less when they're incredibly toxic, because it's like, oh, they're teenagers. It makes sense they have, like, a teenage relationship, whereas it's like when it's 30 and 40-year-olds, it's like, why do you have
why are you not communicating? You're an adult.
So I'm actually excited to see that, because I think that'll be fun.
I agree.
Yeah, I like this issue quite a bit. That was good.
Me too. But we have 2 more issues to talk about.
We do.
The next one being Martian Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter, yes. You got the double.
I get it wrong every week, every month. All right, so Absolute Martian Manhunter, number 4. This is Dennis Camp writing and Javier Rodriguez on the art.
Yes.
Brace yourselves, it's still weird. As the White Martian's heat wave continues to
Might
incite
even be
violence in
not
the
giving it enough credit
denizens.
for this issue.
Hmm?
I said still might not be giving it enough credit for this issue.
Yeah. So the White Martian has like caused this violent heat wave that makes people violent.
Yeah.
Like it's seeping into people's mind and like steaming them in some
Yeah, and
way.
everything goes this like heat yellow of the page.
Yeah.
The art in this book is so good.
The
Like
art
I feel like
is
that needs
so
to be
good.
shouted out because everything
It's
is
so funky.
communicated through the art. Like there's a very clear coloring, visual style to all this motion stuff.
It's so fun. We all know that I will overlook literally everything if there's just great art. And I do enjoy the story of this as well. So that's, just a bonus for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as things continue to heat up in Middleton, John's relationship with his wife has gone on thin ice. He's using the Martian to diffuse rising tensions wherever he can, but that means ignoring and avoiding his wife as her concerns about him continue to grow. And we learn that perhaps something happened back in Washington, D.C. that's alienated them from their old friends. And I have a theory on that
At
the end.
Friends won't call her back. She's very upset.
Yeah.
Like, none of them call me back.
I'm calling her back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she is concerned because she used to be able to look into John's eyes and like see who he was and see his feelings. And now when she looks in his eyes, she can't because the Martian is there. Which is like very funny to see her staring into his eyes and then the art of the Martian just like vibing right there. I enjoyed it greatly.
Yeah. It also hits him, which is,
bad.
Yeah, a little rough. This is like one of the things I'm talking about with adult relationships. We're like, that's just not okay in actuality.
Yeah. Like, you can't do that, actually. Wild. But their argument comes to a head, and while John does his best to prove to his wife that he loves her, the Martian occupies itself with studying the light cast by the White Martian. Just as the pieces are clicking together for the Martian and everything is falling apart for John, 3 agents of the White Martian wipe out all avenues of power in Middleton, sending the city into darkness, which the Martian comments was the White Martian's plan all along. So honestly, a little more coherent than previous issues. Like I feel like we're it's more that we're kind of in one place for longer.
Which is like an interesting thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does have a bit more of a narrative if you want to look at it like that.
Yeah, because we've got the like main framing device of John's fight with his wife, and we stick with that for like a lot of the issue.
Yeah.
Even if he like ducks out every once in a while, it all feels like a part of this same problem that is really focused in on and I don't know, very emotional. Like it's I thought it was nice to see John, who has been referred to as like the Martian because of how emotionless he is. He's like clearly very distraught that his wife is like doubting his feelings for her. And like literally drops to his knees and is like, okay, I like that we're seeing this emotional side of John.
Yeah, that was actually what I was like. I did quite like the encounter, but some of it was me doing like the kid was like, how much of that is the art? Because like when I'm thinking about the fight, I am more thinking about like the visuals of him like dropping to his knees and like that than I am like the actual dialogue of there.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is fair.
Yeah. And I was like, my thing is like I feel like the especially with like the hit that where I'm like, this feels like a thing where like the book should portray this more nuance, but I am very worried that it's going to just be like, oh, Jean was wrong completely. Yeah,
Yeah. But my theory is that his wife doesn't even exist. I don't think that they have. I think that he is fully crazy man. I think that there's a good chance that he's like essentially mind wiped himself in some sort of way into forgetting that he is the Martian. And like he has concocted this illusion for himself.
Okay.
So I don't think we've seen her interact with anyone but him.
No, I don't think so. So
which is funky.
There you go. So maybe That'd be interesting.
Right.
Like we said, at least we're probably gonna find everything out by issue 6 because that's what this
Yeah,
book
because
was
it was
intended
where it was
to
supposed to
be,
end.
and there's gonna be a hiatus after that. So
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's my called shot. I think that he
I like the
is
call
and
shot.
always has been the Martian, and that he just like trauma blocked himself for a while.
I'm here for the. I feel like when you're saying like I think you're gonna be half right. I think she's gonna not be real, but I think he's gonna always be the Martian. I think it's gonna be a thing where like he has kind of like you said mind wiped himself. Like I think either somebody's mind wiped him so he doesn't like remember that like his wife's dead and his life is actually like gone to shit. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
I don't
do think there is also a small possibility
as not a Martian from Mars. Like I just don't see that happening because like so much of the marketing was like this is not.
That's fair.
a Martian
And
being
maybe
like,
it's not that he's, literal Martian in the way that they've talked about in the book before, but like otherworldly entity that has mind wiped himself.
Yeah. In any case,
Very interesting book. Beautiful art.
It's a gorgeous book. It's a book that I'm very like unsold on. Just I don't know. It's like a hard because like I don't. It's not like I said I'm like it's poorly. And I feel like I say this every month. Like, but even beyond the like okay, because I think I've let go of the this is not Martian Manhunter thing.
Yeah.
I'm just unsold on it in some sense of like I can't quite put my finger like I don't know that I am connecting incredibly well to John as like a character to where I'm like because it's such a mental book on him. I don't know that like I care enough about him.
That's super fair.
Thing.
This is one of those comics where I'm like at this point I'm like I wonder if this is gonna read better as a trade. It read better as a binge.
Most like I feel like that's the other thing is like this is a book where everybody's telling me it's like the greatest book coming out right now, and I'm like, I just don't see it. You know,
I think it's one of the most unique books coming out right now, and I mean that in a positive way.
Yeah,
the greatest is a little strong.
I'm glad that people are enjoying it.
Yeah, me too.
That is the absolute line. But yeah, I'm a little unsold. But let's talk about unsold. Let's talk about the series I've had many feelings on throughout our Absolute episodes. We're going to talk about Absolute Green Lantern issue 4. This is writer Al Ewing. Art, literally the entire art, like art, color, etc. is Janoy Lindsay. And they are going to take us on this issue 4 of Absolute Green Lantern, where kind of a lot more happens, but we are once again jumping just all around because these Absolute books cannot tell a linear story. We open on
Absolute Martian Manhunter did.
You're right, actually. Absolute Martian Manhunter is the one book that isn't jumping around, but it's so freaking psychedelic that it is hard
that it feels like it is.
Yeah. We open on Hal having this vision that tells him that God is a black zero and he needs to be a black star.
Saying it out loud is so much.
Yeah, it's a trippy bit. It's a kind of cool little trippy, but it is a little wild. I thought the dialogue there was a little wild. I'm like, I don't know what that is really doing, but in any case, we then resume the because we have the kind of the two time periods. This is the one that's more forward in time, where Jo already has her powers. Hal already has the black hand. They were having this encounter. Jo had sent him flying out of the bar last issue, and Hal is urging Jo to leave because he doesn't want the black hand to do anything to her. But she's trying to talk him down and being like, Hal, you gotta watch what you've done. And he's like, what I've done, and he fully turns into Venom for some reason.
With a big old arm.
Big old, big old. It's like he's got half of his face that isn't encompassed, and everything else is kind of taken over. And then asks Jo what happened to Evergreen, and this sends us backward, and we go back to the before time.
Fair, I believe it asks Jo in a sassy way of what I did. Yeah. Tell me what happened at Evergreen, with I think the implication that it's what Jo did.
Yeah, exactly. But so yeah, we then go back to the before time. This is when the dome was up and they were all trapped. And we see Jo Todd, who's Obsidian for you DC fans, not here, but he is a relevant character maybe. And Hal, they're all in the bar, and they're starting to realize almost everyone in the town is gone, if not everyone. They don't know for that, but it seems like it's basically just them.
Everyone
this
but
point.
them, yeah.
Yeah.
3 people left.
Yeah. So Joe then just like walks out of the bar and screams for Abin Sur, and that works. He appears.
Wild.
Hal then is like watching with a gun. We later find out that they've made gold bullets. Well, we
saw that at the end of last issue. Yeah.
So he's waiting with a pistol, looking for a clear shot at Abin Sur. But Joe is actually able to communicate with Abin like directly here, which is actually I thought.
Yeah, he's willing to chat.
Yeah, I like this. But anyway, he's very confused as Joe's like getting mad at him for killing a bunch of people. So he's like, I've only ended the existence of like the guy who accidentally ran into the barrier. Then Beatrice was killed by Rita's ricocheted bullet, and then he admits he killed Rita because he's like, that was reckless, and I can't let her be reckless.
He's like, yeah, I did kill her, but she did shoot at me, which resulted in the death of someone else. So
yeah, he's like, that's the only one.
Based
like
murder.
The force field person, but he's like, I didn't kill the other people, and Joe's like, but John and Guy, and also the other people, but John and Guy. And Abin Sur's like, no, them along with 2,809 others exist on Oa. Oa drop. That's cool.
Yeah.
And they are awaiting the second stage of judgment. He then says that he is Abin Sur, but he must select the An Sur. And then an Aaron Rao and an Aaron R. And he then says that they will be initiates against the darkness. He then tells, and this was the most interesting thing to me. He then tells Joe to fear the weaponers of Card. Interestingly, this is like Quard, but spelt without the W for some reason in this universe.
I keep going. I'm so excited to ask you all my Green Lantern questions.
There's a lot. I like not to drop it. I like this issue a lot because there was a lot more of things where I was like, "Oh, that's a Green Lantern thing. That's a Green Lantern thing. There's actually Green Lantern things."
We're talking about Green Lantern things.
Yes, it's a Green Lantern book that actually is talking about Green Lantern things. Yes. But then as importantly, Hal has decided not to shoot because he's kind of realized finally a comic book character like not going through with the chaotic action of like realizing something's going on here. Maybe I shouldn't. Because importantly, they can't hear Abin Sur's like kind of mind messaging, so they can't hear him, but they can hear obviously. Joe like talking.
They can tell that Joe is communicating with him.
They're like, that's interesting. So he decides not to shoot. But as he's about to leave, Joe's like, no, don't go. And she reaches out and her hand actually goes into him. And her, ring starts like, taking in the power. And he freaks out. And he's like, anomaly! Anomaly! I found that hilarious.
Which, like fair.
Which is such good alien shit where he's just like shouting anomaly at her. I love that. But this is basically how she gets her powers. And then we kind of learned this is like what led to like the barrier being down and the giant lantern ending up just sitting there and being open. But then we get the big end stinger, which is a helicopter arrives and Hector Hammond, interestingly dressed as if he is a very, very rich man with a lot of like close up and focused on gold jewelry.
Yeah.
He comes in. Carol Ferris seems to be his assistant, or at least work for him. He treats her like an assistant. Who knows if that's actually what her role is? And he's the one who mentions Lazarus. And
yes, right.
41. And he then states that this scene, the giant lantern, belongs to Hector Hammond.
Yeah, I think also importantly, because this is a little silly, my primary point of reference for Hector Hammond is the DC deck building game. I think it's very important to note that Hector Hammond also an absolute hottie right now. Like he's normally really grotesque and weird with his big old.
No, he's gonna become grotesque scientist, but yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's important to note that absolute Hector Hammond is an absolute smoke show.
Yeah, but I like this.
Jay, please tell me all of the Green Lantern things.
All of the Green Lantern things. Okay. So
you mentioned Card. What is Card?
So Quard is what it is in the main universe. So there's usually W after the Q. And Quard, and specifically the weaponers of Quard, are the people from the antimatter universe. The antimatter universe is like a bit, especially in Silver Age, Green Lantern is a really big thing. that is where Sinestro gets banished after he
Mm-hmm.
is a bad Green Lantern. He tries to become a dictator of his home planet. Hal, depending on the continuity, either before Hal or nowadays Hal's the one who rats him out. He gets sent to the Animatic Universe, and the Weaponers of Qward are the ones who make the yellow ring.
Okay, rad.
Oh,
Rad.
that's the big Qward thing. That's the Animatic Universe. It's a big Green Lantern
Mhm.
thing. So yeah, that's an interesting little drop. No W
Lovely.
for some reason. I guess a similar thing to the Arc M instead of Arkham. They're doing little
Little
weird things.
little weird things.
Yeah.
There was an earlier one as well that he had mentioned, or that comes up.
Are you talking about like the Sirs thing or the Arrow?
Yes, yeah, the way that he's like,
That's
I'm
not like that's a
okay. That's a new thing.
new thing because in like the normal comics, Abin Sur's just his name. Like he's an
Yeah.
alien who has name.
That's what I
not like
thought.
a role or anything. So
Yeah.
that's interesting, this universe. But I like the fact that there's 3 there that they're looking for. Because
Mhm.
that means that at least 3 of our guys, I'm weirdly
Are gonna get
guessing
rings.
it's everybody but Hal, because he has the black hand. So I'm guessing it's gonna be Guy, John, and
Mhm.
Joe, which is maybe interesting because maybe we would have expected Guy to be the one who was left out to dry if you were, guessing.
But maybe not the one that you would turn into the villain. Like he's I
Yeah,
feel like if you turn Guy into a villain, he becomes kind of boring.
yeah,
It's like, oh, you're an asshole and a villain? Okay.
yeah. Though interestingly, maybe also Obsidian it will be one. We'll see.
Maybe so.
It just feels weird that he was there. He was made to be one of the last people. Like they name dropped him. It's like it feels like he's gonna matter. Now maybe it's just like a thing for fans to be like, oh, this character, we wanted a 3rd character there, and we'll make it a character who's like kind of relevant. But it feels like he's gonna
Maybe
matter.
it feels relevant. Either that or they're gonna use him as like oh, you were reckless with like grabbing him with your ring, and then they dropped the giant thing, and I got taken by the darkness, but you killed Obsidian.
Yeah.
Which is the other option.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like this was such a dramatic step up for the Green Lantern book.
I fully agree.
Like, it felt like things were happening.
Yeah.
And characters had motivations.
Yeah.
And it was one of the first books, one of the first issues where I felt like I understood the, like, moments in time so much better. Because there were really only 2 of them.
The non-linear needed to happen in this series. Like, I feel like that was like this is one of the ones where I'm like, I feel like it did more to the detriment of the series than to the benefit. Like, I don't know that we needed because not a ton has happened in like the Hal and Joe stuff where it was like we needed that. We needed that up front. Like, I feel like we could have just told the story kind of linear.
Yeah, I feel like they wanted to get the like darkness hand thing going though. So like I kind of get it.
And then flashback and stayed flashback.
Yeah. But I think that it helps that because there was previously the 2 set in the past things.
Yeah, because we had the before, the middle, and then the
And then the before has caught up. So now there's only the 2 separated things.
Yes.
And it felt so as we get to the end of as we get caught up, it feels just so much more cohesive and connected. Which makes it just a much better reading.
Because it was also only really used as a framing device in this issue. There was no like actual plot unfolding there as well, which I think also made it easier. It was like, okay, they're in this fight in the present, and we're just using that as like a way to then focus on the plot that happened in the past. So I think I agree, but yeah, that's my big gripe across the first 3 issues. But this was the one that I hinted at earlier, where it's like, I finally feel like now I know what the plot of this book is, which
absolutely
catches it up to a lot of the other ones of me being like, okay, no, and there's a lot more Green Lantern stuff, which makes me feel
and
like,
also
okay,
I think just a big quality hike, yeah, which is crazy because I feel like the best part of the book before was John, and John is not in this issue at all.
Yeah, we talked about that, and I think the previous we're like, the John stuff's great. Like they got John's character down, the other characters not so much. But this felt like a much better issue in that sense. Even like I think this was maybe Hal's best issue, despite him not doing much, because even just that like slight moment of him like actually realizing not to fire was like a good character moment where it's like, okay, you're that kind of character.
Yes.
Which is actually not usually where Hal Jordan like starts a journey. So I think that's
right. He starts being like a super cocky.
Yeah, he's usually a hothead, Yeah. Usually starts as a hothead. And a lot of days now they still make him a hothead, even though he's like veteran.
A grown ass adult.
Yeah. He's like the veteran, well adjusted Green Lantern now, but they'll still do that in team books. But anyway,
Yeah.
I quite like this issue. This was a big step up.
Me
in
too.
my opinion.
Huge step up.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite issue from
I
this?
do. Annoyingly, I don't. I have
Polish
two of
rep.
them here, and it's the only one of the issue 4s that I don't have my physical next to me of. But I'm gonna give my favorite of month 9 to Absolute Flash. I think that was.
It's
my-
off to a good start.
It was a very very.
Yeah. Yeah. That is very fair. That is very fair. And that was up there for mine as well. But I think I'm gonna give mine to Batman. I feel like I got
It's just for the slight Dick Grayson tease.
look, there he is. I do
Only
think that the start of it was super, super fun. I think that the
Yes.
introduction of Bane is great. And I'm really excited because I feel like Arc M is something they've been laying the groundwork for
Yeah,
for so
since
long.
really early. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like really thrilled to be diving into that. And
Totally
Bane,
agree.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. It's very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of that's all of the books. That's our recommendations, our favorites. But we will, as always, every month be doing this, so you can join us next month for the Absolute Month 10 recaps.
Yes.
But if you want more right now, we just actually the other day did a Strange Saturday Super Show where we talked about Volume 3 of Hack Slash. That's the first book to ever appear for a third time on the Strange
Yes.
Saturday Super Show. That should tell you just how good that is.
It's so good. It's the start of the ongoing series of it.
Yeah.
So instead of a bunch of one-shots, it's like an actual arc, which is very exciting and very well done.
Yeah, very, very good. So you should definitely check that out. And we have our main episode every Wednesday. We had one this past Wednesday. We're going to have one in 2 days. So you should, check that out when it comes out. And as
Be
always,
sure to hit subscribe to add us to your pull list. And
we'll see you
as
next
always-
week. Comic Geeks.